for boring. Where you can feast with the nectar of the gods. You'll always have a seat at Norse Hall.
Welcome everybody to Top Dog Coverage, where you can find some of the best football knowledge, football stats, analytics, football commentating. That sounds like I just need tater tots at that point. But
yeah, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, figure it out. Anyway, if you have not already, though, follow us at Top Dog Coverage on YouTube, on X, which is really Twitter. Don't get that twisted. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Swipe up if you're listening on iTunes and Spotify. And make sure you leave us a comment. Hit those 5 stars, 6 for C-Dub, because C-Dub deserves an extra star. What do you say, baby?
I like it.
Yeah?
I love it. Want some more of it.
I was going to say, do you want more of it? So, yeah, I mean, today, though, we are going to be talking about one NFC team, one AFC team. The Wheel of Destiny has not failed us just yet, so we are going to continue to spin this wheel, see what it gives us, discuss this team, and how it is looking for not each position, but the main positions, and kind of go right into that schedule prediction where everybody seems to absolutely love or hate us. And that love or hate is brought to you by Norse-Hall.com. So we're going to give you some hot takes, so might as well have some hot sauce with it. So if you want some hot sauce, go get your hot sauce from Norse-Hall.com. And if you want a little sweetness with that, because sometimes we give you a little bit of sweetness, go get yourself some mead, some MEAD, which is like a honey wine from Norse-Hall.com. And if you also want some fire beats, like some fire takes that we have, go to FGM Label on Instagram and First God Movement Label. So FGM Label, if you guys would like some tunes in the background and some tunes for fun and maybe just some tunes, just not Looney Tunes.
Tunes for your head top.
Yeah. So with that being said, I will also bring to you our non-sponsor sponsor, which is Celsius. Peach vibe. That's looking like some Miami bit, huh?
A little bit. I don't know. I'm not a big peach guy, so.
Actually, this isn't bad.
Yeah, just peach flavor doesn't do it for me.
I got to be in the mood for peach, though. That's the thing. So, millions of peaches for free. And shout outs to the people that got that reference, because I know C-Dub didn't.
No,
it was a song. Yeah, I don't even know who sung the song, but all they did was talk about peaches.
Okay, respect.
Yeah, you know. So, what do you say we dive right into it? Because there's no real news.
Yeah, we're literally 3 days away from kickoff.
I think the only thing we've heard really is that Micah Parsons has to get an epidural. That's about it, right?
Potentially. He's got a back injury. Look at Schefter's tweet if you want to know more about it.
Yeah.
But he passed it. Good enough to pass physical to get the record-breaking deal. So
there you go. And you know, why are they using the word epidural more than ever now? I mean, I don't want to say more than ever, but like I've never heard it been used.
Well, and we've heard it twice.
Now we have.
It's coincidence? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
It always seems to happen like whenever an injury pops up. Mm-hmm. I don't know, in your brain you start to notice more of the injuries. Like remember when Russell Wilson got that mallet finger, and then Taysom Hill got the mallet finger, and there's a couple other guys.
Yeah.
And it's like I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things.
I always think of baby. I think of childbirth when I hear epidural.
Yeah, I think
And
99.9% of people do.
yeah, I want to console a woman because I feel bad if they have to take epidural for being in all that pain.
Yeah.
Um. All right, so let's just go straight to the Wheel of Destiny, baby. So the Wheel of Destiny is now here. We are back again at it, doing what the Wheel of Destiny does best. What are you thinking, C-Dub?
Bills.
I'm thinking
I think
Colts.
okay.
All right, let's let it take its wheel here, and we will let it take its wheel here. Oh,
Uh, uh,
oh,
uh, uh, uh,
oh!
uh, uh.
Wow!
No way. All right.
By
Well, I
wow,
don't know,
that's
man.
not the closest though. The closest was I think a week or so ago.
Yeah.
That was the closest.
All right. The Colts action.
Now, a little Colts action, and we will go from there.
To the NFC. It's got to be Bucks, right?
Yeah, I'm guessing. I'm guessing. Oh,
Colts and Eagles.
the Colts and the Eagles are on the landing board for today.
And I think it kind of gives us our setup for the next couple episodes, right?
It kind of does, yeah. So we'll just leave it up there. That way we can remember
Absolutely,
who it
yeah.
is. Okay, so let's start with the Colts.
Colts. All right.
Yeah.
We're heading into the Daniel Jones era. Danny Dimes.
We are. Look, not a lot of. I'll be honest with you, not a lot of free agency pickups as far as I know on defense here. Trying to
Well, they
really
picked
take.
up Treverius Ward, the corner from
Yeah,
San Francisco.
yeah.
So
I'm
that's
trying
a
to
big move.
see if. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Yeah. Usually it gives you that sign. They took away all the colors here, so I'm trying to
Mm-hmm.
remember all of the different things that had happened. But they did get.
I think Ward
Awesome.
was the only. Ward and
Yeah.
Bynum were the
Yeah.
two
Buckner
big
came
free
last
agents.
year. Yeah.
Bynum, he came over from Minnesota.
Yep. Free
He
agency.
was the one who was doing all the celebrations with Minnesota.
Yes,
So
sir.
now he's in Indianapolis this year. So they really just kind of beefed up their secondary with those two signings.
Yeah, true story. And yeah, I mean they don't have anything too crazy. They made one pick in the second round on defense. I just kind of want to knock out this defense a little bit.
Yeah.
With TJ Tuamalau and
The Ohio State product.
Yep, the Ohio State defensive end, 6'4", 265. Look, he can definitely bring some juice to that. Just let him get situated. I would say let him get situated in that defense a little bit. But I think that he can make some noise over there, and it'll help bring things to where it needs to be on that front line, because that defense quietly was ranked actually ninth overall. So
Yeah.
not a lot of people understand. They think the Colts. They just think, okay, the Colts are the Colts. But if you look at that front line, you
Well, they are the
have.
Colts.
I mean, they are, but you have everybody. Buckner, Stewart, and Latu. Top 30 over there with edge and interior defensive line. And then you have Pay, who actually upgraded since and kind of came into his own, and then kind of took a downfall last year. So
Yeah, he's still kind of been disappointing overall as a career arc. Like, I
yeah,
think this is a career year for him too. Contract year for him.
yeah,
Excuse me. So hopefully you see him kind of elevate his play and add to that pass rush.
Yeah, so you got Charvarius Ward on the one side, and then you have what's his name, Kenny Moore the second on the other side, and
Well, they moved Kenny into the slot, so he's playing more of that nickel role. They have their
I think
seventh rounder Jalen Jones on the other side.
I think that'll
Opposite.
be good for them too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think really the biggest kind of addition for this Colts team on the
Mhm.
defensive side is hiring the defense coordinator Lou Anarumo. He came over from the Bengals,
Okay.
right? So the Bengals defense was decent, fairly good a few seasons ago when they were in the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
So it just, for whatever reason, last year was just an awful year for them. So they fired him, brought in, I believe it was Golden, the defense coordinator for Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And now Lou comes over to the Indianapolis Colts. So I think that's going to add another, I guess, jolt to this defense. I think that they're going to improve quite a bit even more.
Yeah. I just when I look at it, it's not flashy, right? Right? People are going to look for flashy. That's kind of what people look for, but this isn't a flashy room, but it gets the job done. There's a reason why they were top 10, but they need an offensive spark. That's what they need. It seems that seems to be the issue here. And people may hate it. I'm going to say this, but maybe this is what needs to happen. Daniel Jones needs to start. Let's go over to that QB room. Can we do that real quick?
Oh yeah, just before we move off over the defense,
Mm-hmm.
one sign that I feel like kind of went under the radar was Xavier Howard, the corner from Miami. He's now with his Indianapolis Colts, so it adds another veteran presence to this defensive back room, to the
Yeah.
secondary.
Yeah,
And they also traded for Mekhi Blackman from Minnesota.
Yes.
So I think they really kind of made a concerted effort to increase talent in the secondary
And have
so.
depth as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's important. You're only as good as your depth is.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have the next man mentality or the player ability to do that, then one guy goes down and your whole team doesn't know how to step up. You got to have talent back there too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think Daniel Jones is a step up or a step down or even from Anthony Richardson as a starting QB in this offense?
I mean, this offense still is Shane Steichen's offense, right? He came over from Philly. He had that great year with Jalen Hurts. So I think he knows how to get the most out of a rushing quarterback. Daniel Jones has that athleticism to do it. It's just since that neck injury, Daniel Jones hasn't been the same.
Yeah.
Right. I think it maybe kind of gives you a higher floor because Anthony Richardson has the highest ceiling, right? His potential is off the charts. But the biggest issue is he hasn't played a lot of football since going back to high school and college and now the NFL.
Yeah.
So he's dealt with a bunch of different injuries. He hasn't really gotten a lot of the snaps needed to kind of grow and learn. So I don't know if it's necessarily a better move, but I guess it gives him a more consistent option at quarterback if you can consider Daniel Jones consistent.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it gives you a little bit more ability to utilize this receiving core and a lot of the short passing game. So it's going to be a lot of get the ball out quick and hey, can we kind of take some of this pressure off Jonathan Taylor in this offensive line?
Yeah, because I mean, if you look at the offensive line, you got Raymond and Nelson, who are still I mean, that duo on the left side is great. Then you have Bartolini, who's as good as his man Goncalves. I can never say his Goncalves, whatever you say it, however you say it. Matty boy over there, okay. But that right side all the way from the center is kind of decent, right? They're not terrible at all. But then you have the left side who is just outstanding, And
yeah, I think it's kind of more like unknown
Yeah.
right? Because you lose Ryan Kelly, you
Mm-hmm.
lose Will Fries. They both go up to Minnesota. So, but you took these guys in last year's draft class to
Mm-hmm.
potentially replace these guys, right? So I think it'll take a little bit of time to get that continuity on the offensive line, but I think it could be an improvement if they develop as Indianapolis wants them to.
Yeah. I think it would be a really good idea if they can get Daniel Jones to get rid of the ball quick. And they have playmakers to do that. You know, you have
Mm-hmm.
Josh Downs, who is a perfect slot option there. Not only that, not only just the slot option, right? Daniel Jones, I forget the number, but it was a ton that he was throwing to the slot option. So throwing. Now he had Malik Neighbor, so I understand that. But at the same point, like you're throwing to that because you're comfortable with that. Nothing else was working. And like you said, it wasn't. He hasn't been the same since that neck injury. Been a little different.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So they have the perfect option for that, or you have the perfect option for something very similar to that in Tyler Warren, who was just drafted this year. And Tyler Warren is a big bodied guy, like 6'5", 255. That's a good sized dude. And
He's
the
a stud at
dude,
Penn State.
yeah, dude makes the game look great. So those are just two slot options. We still haven't mentioned Michael Pittman. We still haven't mentioned Alec Pierce or um, Jonathan Taylor. I mean, you mentioned him, but you know what I'm saying. Like we haven't mentioned these guys just in that realm. So they have a lot of studs. They have a lot of playmakers that are actually on this offense. It's almost just like the motor just can't get going. That just kind of seems to be the story.
Yeah, and I think they have a lot of tools to be a good offense. I like Sykin. I think he's a good coach. He's a good offensive mind. And it's just kind of disappointing that Anthony Richardson hasn't been able to pan out and be on the field to develop as they would like,
Yeah,
right? But like you said, this weapon, this receiving core, along with Tyler Warren at the tight end spot, I mean, it's up there in top of the league, right? And I'd argue that
yeah,
because Michael Pittman Jr. He's a really good receiving option, USC product, but he dealt with a back injury last year, kind of hampered his 2024 season.
yeah.
Like you said, Josh Downs, great slot option. He can kind of play all positions all over the field. He's great at North Carolina. And then you have Alec Pierce, that's kind of your deep threat. He always ends up getting behind the defense, has great speed, good size. And I'm a really big fan of Adonai Mitchell, the receiver out of Texas. They took in the second round in last year's class.
Yeah, we've just been
And
waiting to see what he can do, man.
yeah, once if he can get on the field and kind of get that rapport going, I'm excited to see what he can that kind of playmaking ability he can bring to this offense as well. So I really like this offense and the potential it has.
They have a
Just
lot of depth.
not really in love with this quarterback room though.
No, I mean, look, Daniel Jones can make a difference if he, again, I'll say it again, if he can get rid of the ball. They did draft a quarterback and a running back to solidify depth. They did draft, not for nothing, the left tackle, Jalen Travis, I always say it backwards. Massive. This kid is like 6'8", 340 pounds, dude, out of Iowa State.
Okay.
And I can't wait. I mean, look, late round pick. You know what I mean? Or not late round, but mid round, day 3, fourth round,
Mhm.
and he's going to be sitting behind Raymond, so Bernard Raymond, and I think it's a great place to be, especially with a big body like that. You learn behind somebody great. If somebody goes down, you're ready to come in. So they did a lot of depth move, including their first rounder, or not including, but uh, after their first rounder to solidify everything that's going on that they want to create in the future. So Tyler Warren obviously is going to be starting. Mo Alley Cox is going to be right behind him in the tight end room, and Drew Ogletree. So they have depth in tight end. They have depth in wide receiver. They have depth in their line. They have depth in the running back room. They have depth on their defense. It's like you said. It's just a bit of disappointment. With Richardson not being able to, you know, do what we believe he can do.
Yeah. So you think him sitting on the bench and starting out this year will be a benefit to his development? or would you rather see him on the field?
I think he can learn if it's the correct way. This is going to sound, and then that's very vague. I know that sounds weird, but I mean, if Daniel Jones can get it together and listen to what his quarterback coach is telling him to do, maybe getting rid of the ball quickly, give it to your playmakers. Like I'll never forget what I heard Bill Belichick told Tom Brady. He said, "Hey, we can't move the ball until you get rid of it. We can't, you know what I mean? We can't get a first down. We can't get a touchdown. We can't do anything until you get rid of the ball." And that, that sticks with me. And I think that's exactly what this team needs to do. Get rid of the ball quick. Let Josh Downs take it. Let Michael Pittman take it. Let Jonathan Taylor take it. Let Tyler Warren take it. Like, let Mitchell get in the game. Let him take it. Like, they have so many weapons. It's just, it's frustrating.
I think also Tom Brady is one of the least athletic quarterbacks ever. So of course you don't want him holding on the ball for too long.
Look, he was that's the problem with some of these people. They quarterbacks, they hold on to the ball, and it's like, can we stop holding on to the ball? Give it to your playmakers. That's what they're there for. There's only a handful of people that can hold on to it and make things happen, like a Lamar Jackson. You know what I mean? Like a Josh Allen. It's these types of things. Like even Patrick Mahomes can hold on to it, scramble, and make you kind of look a little silly until he makes this weird behind the back pass or throw it his left hand, whatever it is. There's not many. You're talking about 32 teams and 3 quarterbacks that can do it, because it's really hard to find.
Agreed.
Sorry. Rant.
No. Yeah. I don't know. I think there might be more than 3. There's some athletic guys out there.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts can scramble around, make something happen. Joe Burrow, he has to fight for his life on every snap.
But Jalen Hurts doesn't have to scramble. That's what I'm saying. He has a great O-line. Yeah. He has the best O-line in football. But I get what you mean. Yeah, he can definitely do it. But with that said, are we good talking with them, or?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta give Jonathan Taylor some love. I think he's one of the best running backs in the league. I think he's an elite option. I hope to see him get a little bit better in the passing game. Like, he can catch, but I think he can still improve there. But I love Jonathan Taylor. I think he's an elite back, and I want to show him some love.
He definitely is. Absolutely. And you know what? He had that one year that was just like absolutely amazing. And then there was an injury, and then there was, the offensive line, and then there was another injury. And it's like, you know what I mean? So it seems like he's just not doing anything because he's not.
Well, like, last year he led the NFL in carries, didn't he? He had 117.
I believe so. But that's the thing. Nobody looks at that. Nobody's
the last 4 weeks.
Nobody's looking at certain things that he's doing, because you already have people up there like Bijan, CMC, all these new guys, Genti coming out in fantasy football net, right? He's getting dumbed down because it's the Colts. That's it. Yeah. But this could change. I do think that it's a good move. This could change everything.
Yeah, he had 303 attempts for 1,431 yards, 11 touchdowns, 4.7 yards per carry.
So. And how many times did you hear his name?
I mean, how many times did you watch a Colts game?
Exactly. It's right under the radar. They got it. They have their guy there that can run the ball and do what they got to do. It's so frustrating to see so much talent on one team.
Yeah. Well, walk us through the crystal ball of how they'll do in 2025.
All right. Indianapolis. You will see us end of February into March.
Yeah.
All right.
We got to be able to walk around the streets, bro.
Yeah. True story. Okay. All right. So your 2025 Indianapolis Colts will be hosting the Dolphins week 1. All right. And I think that the Colts are actually going to put a little bit of something together here. And I believe that they're probably going to take a week 1 win at home starting off the season. Okay. Week 2 Indianapolis Colts are hosting the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos have a little bit too much going on over there, and they will take a win on the road. Give me the Denver Broncos. Week 3, the Indianapolis Colts go to Tennessee to see the new Cam Ward. Not Cam Ward. Who's the other guy I always say?
No, Cam Ward's the quarterback.
I always mess it up. Cam Akers. No, I'm kidding. So, week 3, though. Nashville hosts the Indianapolis Colts. You know what? Give me the Indianapolis Colts on the road, okay? I think they're going to pull out a win. Week 4, the Los Angeles Rams are hosting the Colts. Depending on whether Stafford is there or not, you know what? Give me Los Angeles Rams. Week 5, the Raiders are going to the Indianapolis Colts. I am actually going to take the Raiders on this, week 5. Week 6, the Arizona Cardinals go to the Indianapolis Colts. You know what? This could be a fluky game. Give me the Indianapolis Colts at home. Week 7, the Indianapolis Colts go to the Los Angeles Chargers. I think that defense is still a little bit too tough to beat, so give me the Chargers. Week 8, the Tennessee Titans are going to the Indianapolis Colts. You know what? Give me a sweep on them. Let me see the Colts 2 games against the Titans. Week 9, the Indianapolis Colts go to Pittsburgh to meet the defense of the year almost. Give me the Steelers. Week 10, the Indianapolis Colts are hosting the Falcons. I think this could be a little bit too much for them. Give me the Falcons. All right. Week 11 is going to be a bye. Week 12, they're going to come back and they're going to face the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead Stadium. Give me the Chiefs at home. Week 13, the Colts are going to face the Texans here. And you know what? I think they're going to be on a little bit of a kick of losing. They're going to get right back on the horse with a division game. Give me the Colts at home. Jacksonville Jaguars are hosting the Indianapolis Colts. You know what? I think they're going to look for 2 in a row, and they're going to get it. Give me them on the road in Jacksonville. Week 15, the Seattle Seahawks are hosting the Indianapolis Colts. I think Seattle kind of knocks them off their horse a little bit. Give me Seattle. Week 16, I think San Francisco is going to be fighting for a playoff spot. Their defense is going to be rolling into the Indianapolis Colts, and they're going to overtake that entire offense. Give me San Francisco. Week 17, the Jaguars are actually going to be coming to Indianapolis. And at this point, I think this is where they get kicked out, and give me the Jacksonville Jaguars at the end. Week 18, the Texans and the Indianapolis Colts. Call me crazy, but give me the Texans. 4-game losing streak at the end. 6-11, the Indianapolis Colts.
Very nice. Very interesting. Do you think Steichen keeps his job if this happens, or he's out?
I think he can. This also goes with a lot of quarterback issues. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a lot of quarterback issues. You need to find somebody that's going to be solidified in that spot. So it's really hard to tell who's going to be starting, who's going to be sitting this entire time. I do think that there's a possibility that the Titans win one and then they split. They split with each one of their rivals, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised, and you can call me crazy all you want, but I really wouldn't be surprised if they take 2 from the Texans this year. I know that's very, very bold, but at the same time, their defense is their defense, and if they can figure out a way, their offense has to figure out a way to do this. That's the only way they could take 2 from the Texans. Their
So
defense,
no
though,
CJ Love this year. You don't think he's bouncing back?
I think he can. The biggest question is that offensive line. You're talking not even just 1 or 2, at least 3 straight new starters, and then and 2 that are still battling in preseason camp right now. Like, they don't know. That's really hard for me to determine whether or not the Texans are going to do well or not. You're talking about a complete question mark. Trading 2. You're talking about trading 2 guys on the offseason and then cutting 2. And that's really hard for me. I don't know how people are going to have. I've heard so many Texans fans, don't worry about it. It'll take care of itself. offensive line, you need to understand who's going to be where and everything. And I understand that they were ranked like 31st. You know, they gave up a lot of sacks, but that doesn't mean that you can't end up back there again.
Yeah.
I'm not
I
saying they
mean-
will, but I mean, the odds are that they will kind of go up. You know what I mean? They will, you know,
Yeah, I think they'll be improved.
yeah. Just how much, and you know, you just don't want to see Stroud on his back. That's all.
I mean, could you imagine them going from 31st to like 25th? It's a pretty massive improvement, right?
It's a possibility. We haven't seen anything of what these guys have done yet. That's when I say unknown, that's what I mean by the unknown. Is like we really don't. You're talking about 3 to 4 out of 5 that are just we don't know them. You know, we don't know what they're doing.
It could be anything.
It
could
could
be an all-pro offensive lineman.
It could make a top 10 for all we know. You know,
Yeah.
so but yeah.
Trust the coaches.
But we got that, and then we're gonna head over to who did we say?
The reigning Super Bowl champion, Philadelphia Eagles.
The Philadelphia Eagles. All right. Tell me about the Eagles.
I mean, where do we start? This is Super Bowl champs right here.
Super Bowl champs.
They are the ones to kick off the season against the Dallas Cowboys on Thursday. So pretty exciting, right? Let's start with the defense. That they kind of had some turnover and some change, mainly on defense.
Yeah.
I mean, so you added 5 draft picks to this defense. Mm-hmm. Starting off with first rounder Jahad Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
Then in the second round, you took Andrew Mukumba, the safety out of Texas. In the fourth round, Ty Robinson, no tackle, I believe out of Nebraska. Double check. Yep. And then in the fifth round, you took 2 guys, Samael Munden Jr. at the will linebacker position and Mac McWilliams in the nickelback position. So you had some more youth, but I think this defensive line is going to look a little bit different.
Yeah, but they still have a really, really good. I don't know. Their coaching over there is just great, and I don't know what has been going on with Howie Roseman the past couple of years, but this dude has been nailing draft picks left and right.
Yeah. So one thing in 2024, the Eagles used 4 or fewer pass rushers on 79.5% of all dropbacks in 2024, which is the 5th highest rate in the NFL.
That's wild.
When you can win with 4 or less guys, it adds it makes defense that much easier for you. You drop back more into coverage, and they were getting still plenty of pressure. I mean, they took Zach Bond, cast off from New Orleans, made him All-Pro, Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Like, coaching's been great over there. Nolan Smith Jr. is coming into his own. It'll be a starter this year. Jalix Hunt, the former, I believe, safety, who is now an edge rusher out of, I think it's Holy Cross. Yeah. He should get some meaningful snaps and play a big role this year. So they got a lot of guys. They invested a lot into this defense over the last couple seasons.
That's why they were first overall last year.
Yeah, you got 2 monsters in the middle. I think Jordan Davis has been a little bit of a disappointment.
Yeah.
But Jalen Carter has been great out of this world. You got Keely Ringo, they took in the 4th round at one of the cornerback spots. It's kind of makes me a little nervous there. But you have Sidney Brown, they took in the 3rd round, a strong safety. Reed Blankenship, who's been a solid contributor at free safety over his last few seasons. Quinyon Mitchell, they took in the 1st last year's class. And then Cooper DeJean playing the nickel. They took in the 2nd round last year. So you've got a lot of talent on this back end. I mean, Eagles could very well be the top defense in the NFL this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like that pass rush is absolutely ridiculous, and you know they just keep getting guys that know how to step up and do their job.
Yeah, and Vic Fangio is such an elite defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
I mean he's like the godfather of defense over here. Here, just going. He's made an impact everywhere he's been. Like Chicago was one of the elite defenses when he was the head coach there. went to Miami. He was with Denver.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everywhere he goes, the defense instantly improves. So it's exciting if you're a Philadelphia fan.
Absolutely. I like and some of these guys are just they're not gonna have to play too much this year, and that's great for them because they can sit down, let the game come to them, and I think that's exactly, they made all their smart moves. They can lose people and they're not worried about it. Why? Because they have a great coaching staff and they have a great GM making great picks.
Yeah, I think a few under the radar signings that I could end up making a big difference, especially adding to this rotation. Azeez Ojulari from the Giants,
From the
who
Giants,
they
yeah.
signed, and then you also took Josh Uche from Kansas City. I think he was also with the Patriots and then went to Kansas City. But then also Adoree Jackson, a veteran leader in that secondary to add to the
Yeah.
cornerback room. So you got a lot of depth around this defense. They made that trade for Jacorian Bennett at the other cornerback spot. So
Mm-hmm.
you had some veteran options to provide more depth on this defense. So we'd love to see it.
Yeah. And it's can we shift over to the offense side?
Yeah, let's do it.
They do have I mean, look, they have AJ Brown, they have Jahan Dotson and Devontae Smith. Those are three really, really good wide receivers. Then you have they trading for John Mechie. Cool. You know what I mean? And their offensive line is just top notch, one of the best in the league. And then you have one of the best running backs in the league, and then one of the best commanders at quarterback. If we're being honest here, like, let's not downplay any of it. And all they're doing is just grabbing guys, Drew Kendall in the fifth as their center from Boston College. They're just going to have him sit in the back, ready whenever his number gets picked. And not only that, they're going to make sure that it's solidified with a bunch of other picks here and there, and with Cameron Williams in the sixth, you know what I mean, for the right tackle position. And look, he's sitting in the background, right? And he's out of Texas, 6'6", 315. They're just preparing themselves for the next 4 years, 3 years. You know what I mean? Like, they just keep doing this. They just did it on defense. Now they're doing it on offense, and they already have the playmakers that they've paid for, catching the ball, running the ball, blocking. Everybody's doing their job, and Howie Roseman is just playing with the draft now. That's it's just he's making trades here and there for little spots he's got to fill in. Yeah, we lost somebody. Let's get Mechie in here. Like, oh, okay, Mechie. Does anybody really know Mechie? Probably not, because he's been hiding behind Collins and Tank Dell and all these other guys. Sure.
Well, I think he's been more known for the cancer diagnosis rather than his play on the field, unfortunately. But he was a really good receiver product coming out of Alabama.
Yeah, and there's and that's the thing too. Like, not for nothing, he wasn't the number 1 or 2 guy over there anyway, right? He was a little bit more of a depth guy, but at the same point,
he made plays when he got out on the field, though.
He did.
He's good.
Absolutely, he did. So this offense is just running on all cylinders when they're on the field, and there's just no doubt about any of the talent that is there between all 3 wide receivers. The running backs, Will Shipley being there as the backup, and AJ Dillon, I think, was a great signing. He's a tough dude coming from Green Bay there. It's really, really hard to compete with this team, let alone its depth.
Yeah, and I like the 2 trades that they made to add more depth to the offensive line, with Fred Johnson from Jacksonville and then Kenyon Green for Houston, part of that Chauncey Gardner-Johnson trade. Because I think Kenyon Green, I mean, he did not play very well with Houston, but he's one of those younger guys out of Texas A&M that you get him into the Philadelphia system, and that offensive line coach can coach him up and kind of help him reach his talent level, like where he could actually be a viable starter.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think a lot of these guys are really good, in a really good position to learn, develop, and be available, like you said, when their number is called.
Yeah.
Because injuries happen. So
it absolutely does. Absolutely. So with that being said, I don't know if you have anything else to say. I mean, we breeze through that just because they've done their work, they've done their homework, they've placed players where they need to be, and they set up for the next couple of years. And you know what? They've won how many Super Bowls in the past few years? Two,
Two.
right?
Two.
There's a real good possibility that they're just going to keep on, making the playoffs and showing that this is what they got. So. With that said, do you want to show us what you think they got?
Let's do it.
All right. What's the deal, Pickle? Show us.
Yeah, so they won one in 2018, then 2025. So about a 7-year difference between the Super Bowls. But
Okay.
all right.
It seems so much sooner.
Yeah, they were in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, but lost that one.
Yeah.
So, all right, here is your 2025 Philadelphia Eagle record prediction. Week 1, they have the Dallas Cowboys visiting the Philadelphia Eagles. That is the opening game of the season. I think both teams will have a lot of energy, be a really great atmosphere, but I think Philadelphia will take the win. Week 2, you have the Eagles visiting the Kansas City Chiefs, a rematch of the most recent Super Bowl. I think, again, Philly is going to be too much. That offensive line is still going to be putting in some new pieces there, so going to give me Philly on the road. Week 3, you have the LA Rams visiting the Philadelphia Eagles. The Rams are the team that kind of played Philadelphia the closest, almost upset them in the snow there. This is going to be a pivotal game. I don't know how Matthew Stafford's going to be with that back injury. He's expected to play week 1, but going to give me Philly at home. Week 4, you have the Eagles coming into Tampa Bay to play Baker and the Bucks. I think this is going to be one of those weird games, and I think Philadelphia's going to be flying high, but I think Baker and the Bucks pull off the upset. So give me the Bucks at home. Week 5, you have the Broncos visiting the Philadelphia Eagles. I think the Broncos are going to be a great team. I think that defense is going to be a lot. I think they're going to pressure Jalen Hurts. So going to give me the Broncos on the road. Week 6, you have the Philadelphia Eagles visiting the New York Giants. We know how I feel about the Giants. I don't think they'll be a good team. Sorry, Giants fans. So going to give me Philadelphia on the road. Week 7, you have the Eagles visiting the Minnesota Vikings. I think that Vikings defense with Brian Flores is going to be even better this year, but I think the Eagles have too much offensive firepower, so going to give me the Eagles on the road. Week 8, you have the Giants visiting the Philadelphia Eagles. Tough stretch for the Giants here, but going to give me Philly at home. Week 9, they have their bye week. Week 10, you have the Philadelphia Eagles visiting the Green Bay Packers. Could be an NFC Championship preview, maybe, not sure. But I think Green Bay, with the addition of Micah Parsons, is going to be an even better defense than what I projected before. So going to give me Green Bay at home. Week 11, you have the Detroit Lions visiting the Philadelphia Eagles. I think with Lions, they've lost a lot of coaching staff. Frank Ragnow retired in the offseason, so I don't know how the Lions are going to be. I think they're very talented, but going to give me Philly at home. Week 12, you have the Eagles visiting the Dallas Cowboys. I think with these division games, they do get kind of wonky and they're kind of weird. So give me Dallas at home. I think they squeak by, maybe in a last-second field goal there. Week 13, you have the Bears visiting the Philadelphia Eagles. I think Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams are going to have a good year. I don't know how they're going to fare against the Eagles, though. I think the Eagles, there's a far superior team here in this situation, so give me the Eagles. Week 14, you have the Eagles visiting the Los Angeles Chargers. Harbaugh and company are going to have a really good defense. They're going to be centered around the run game. I think this is going to be one of those weird upset games, so go and give me the Chargers at home. And then week 15, you have the Las Vegas Raiders visiting the Philadelphia Eagles. I like a lot of what Vegas has done this offseason, getting Pete Carroll head coach, upgrading that defense, bringing in Geno Smith, but I think the Eagles will take this one. They'll get the win at home. Week 16, you have the Eagles visiting the Washington Commanders. I don't think the Commanders are going to be as good as they were last year. I think they kind of hit lightning in a bottle. So going to give me the Eagles on the road here. Week 17, you have the Eagles visiting the Buffalo Bills. So I think this could be a potential Super Bowl preview here. I think Josh Allen's going to be too much for that defense. So going to give me the Buffalo Bills at home. And then week 18, you have the Commanders visiting the Philadelphia Eagles. Again, I think this could be potentially for the division here, but I think the Eagles dominate at home. I think Saquon Barkley and company will be too much. So give me the Eagles, and they finished with an 11-6 record back in the playoffs.
11-6 record. There it is.
How are we feeling?
Well, it is what it is. I have no idea what happened.
No, I thought you just put me in the back for a second. I thought you didn't like my prediction, so
I
threw me backstage.
it kicked me off. So, but thank
Oh.
goodness it was a quick kickoff and nothing too crazy. But yeah,
Philadelphia fans are already attacking me. I'm sorry.
Like
That's
I
how
thought
I
it was
feel.
Washington Commanders attacking you for getting
be.
swept.
Could be.
You know, but I mean,
Didn't they get swept last year?
no, I think they won 1-1, and then
When
they
Hurts
lost.
got that concussion?
I think so, and then the other one was what was it? And then they lost in the
Playoffs?
they
The
lost in the
championship game?
playoffs. Yeah, so it's kind of great game though. I mean, what more could you ask for? So
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
think I mean, if Hurts would have been healthy, I think they would have swept them, all three of them. But
yeah.
that's just me.
Well, I don't know, man. Like the first time they made a pretty good comeback, and it's also that defense that's got to stop Jalen Hurts. So we'll figure it out. But I mean, they're gonna have a tougher schedule this year. It's not going to be the easy schedule that they had last year, and we'll find out if Jaden Daniels can prove himself in a little bit more of a tougher kind of year of scheduling. I mean that's basically what it's going to come down to beat this Philadelphia team, right? So we'll see how that goes. Almost here, baby. Yep. Top Dog Coverage, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Stay connected with us. If you have a story, if you need fantasy football advice, hit us up on any one of these platforms. Ask us, let us know, or on topdogcoverage@gmail.com. Make sure you guys let us know. So we're down to four more teams, and then we will get to it. And we have kickoff. So we love you guys. Make sure you stay safe and keep going, baby. All right. C-Dub, we out.
Peace.